Hello, my name is Dr. Rod Story. If you're watching this video, it's likely that you've contacted our clinic, and this is meant to be a response regarding COVID vaccination and a request for exemptions. We received quite a few of them recently, mostly from healthcare workers who are now facing the exemptions from the state of Washington and likely growing in the state of Idaho with our 2 local hospitals. This is certainly a significant step, and I understand if you're angry about it or if you're very fearful about it, particularly fearful that you might lose your job. I'm thankful that the local hospitals seem to be making room for strong personal belief or religious exemption, and I would encourage you to go ahead and apply for that if you feel that's appropriate to your circumstance. Regarding medical exemption, this is where I think it gets into a challenging conversation, and I wanted to let you know first how we're approaching it through our clinic, and then how that might impact you seeking care through our clinic. First off, I apologize, but I'm not able to answer all the individual questions that are coming our way. We are a membership clinic, which means we're only able to provide care for people who engage with us in that type of a financial arrangement. I encourage you to consider care through our clinic. We would love and be honored to do that. It's very simple. We have 2 physicians or providers who are available for care at this moment, Dr. Matt McCabe and Andrew Becker, physician assistant, both of whom are excellent and very like-minded in their medical approaches and in supporting personal autonomy through healthcare. And that's very, very important to us, more important than mandating vaccinations. We are also, would encourage generally vaccination. We're not an anti-vax clinic, but again, very encouraging for people ultimately owning the responsibility and the rights of those decisions. When it comes to medical contraindications, there are not many, and you should first know that that's the very specific circumstance that comes down to. One is pregnancy. Second is severe immune compromise circumstance, which is very, very unusual. Third is a history of vaccine reaction that's severe. We're talking about anaphylaxis. We would consider a fourth on a case-by-case basis, and that is previous COVID exposure and illness. If you're like myself and in the care of patients in 2020, you encountered COVID, you were sick with COVID, you recovered from COVID, it's likely that, again, like myself, you have very strong and lasting immunity. The medical literature is growing in expressing or showing that, as we expected, natural immunity is likely better than vaccinated immunity and protective long-term, and I think that we will see that come to play. Sadly, that's not being taken into account, and we're working to bring that to light and to work with our local hospitals to consider that as a reasonable exemption. There's no medical historical case for vaccinating people who are recently exposed to an illness and have strong natural immunity. But we just don't have strong data saying the opposite, that it's detrimental, but I suspect that will be coming. So again, be aware that for medical exemptions, it's actually pretty limited and pretty rare for what we are able to provide letters for our patients, but we're glad to discuss and personalize that care and bring that and consider each case on a case-by-case basis. I'm sorry you're in this circumstance. I think it's a very concerning thing when we take steps to mandate and then coerce people by the threat of losing their job into taking something that they might be personally opposed to or very deeply concerned about. You're a healthcare person, and so you're not a dummy. You're well informed, and we would encourage you, however, to weigh the risks and the options and to seek good counsel and good advice. At our clinic, as you probably know, we are uniquely positioned to not be part of the local hospitals. We're independent because of our posture as a direct primary care clinic. We're able to step outside the lockstep of medical politics and really work on an individual basis, but also speak thoughtfully and in a balanced way to medical issues, and we'd love to continue to engage you further. Again, this is Dr. Rod Story. Thank you so much for contacting us. Again, just to be clear, I'm not able to address individual questions, And if you are interested in pursuing a relationship with our clinic, we have two providers, not myself, Dr. McCabe and Andrew Becker, who are very like-minded in their approach to this issue, and who I'd encourage you would receive excellent care through them. Thank you much.